Meanwhile,
it's been quite a while since Ash sent me a new Pokémon. I wonder what he's captured this time.
Greetings, Bienvenue. Come on in, sit on down.
What is that smell?
The Bond phenomenon is this odd occurrence that happens within the Pokemon world, where a Pokemon is able to tap into its truest potential based on the bond that it makes with its trainer. But I don't know why I'm telling you any of this. You guys learned about this in the last Bond video we did, right? Right? Anyway, I decided, why would I keep all of this to myself? So back in
September,
I launched this little contest where you guys would be able to turn in your OC and favorite Pokemon or Fakemon, and we'd turn that into content for this video. That's where we're at.
We are in the future.
And I'm really pumped about it because you guys showed up in droves, way more than I thought were going to be participating in this contest, which leads us into a little announcement that I'm going to make at the end of this video. So, without much further ado, let's hop into today's video. Hi, I'm the Thesterninator, but my friends call me Stern. Welcome to the channel. While you're here, don't forget to drop down below, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that makes me and YouTube happy, and let's hop right into the video. Starting out first, we have the talented artist Spade Geistalt, who you can find on Blue Sky and Twitter. I'll make sure to put the information for these artists in the lower left-hand side of the screen as their stuff comes up, as well as down in the description so you'll be able to find them. Because looking at Spade's OC trainer Anton, in comparison with Flo, the Battle Bond Typhlosion, I'm gonna go ahead and make the joke here, it flows together so well. I feel like there is a specific challenge that you can get into when your trainer and your Pokemon share so many similar qualities, like the color and the cape, and just the overall vibe. There can be a very specific challenge. I think a lot of people assume that when going in, oh, I'll just make my trainer automatically look like my Pokemon. You're then kind of having to put a hat on a hat. So here, utilizing that challenge really paid off for Spade, because Anton, while he does carry over a lot of the colors, the Typhlosion feels like its own independent design for the character. It still feels like Typhlosion, it still feels like Anton, but feels as well like something that we could truly see in the anime. So taking that challenge into account, it feels like Spade really played up the abilities that they were able to do and played down the challenge that comes with it. I'm sure that it was something very difficult to handle with the design, but it comes across so naturally with what their art was able to pull off. So I have to give some kudos to Spade on this one, because while I was looking through the submissions, I saw this one and my first thought was, I have to take a crack at that design. I have to get my hands on it and draw out this Pokemon. While I was looking at all the others for various reasons, saying, oh, I can see where some fixes could happen, or oh, I can see where my style may play into the design a little bit differently, this was one that I saw and fell in love with immediately, saying, I need it. I need it on my canvas now. So here is Flo, the Battle Bond Typhlosion, owned by trainer Anton. I've talked at length about how much that I love this design, and Mrs. Stern can tell you I've done nothing but brag about all of the talented people who watch these videos, so yeah, this was a ton of fun. I love getting to play with that fire aspect to it, making it feel mystical in the same way that Spade did. A lot of this came down to trying to match some of the effects that Spade had already kind of perfected. So I'm hoping I did you proud, Spade. Let me know. This next one is actually based on a Fakemon designed by Bayfox with their OC trainer, Annabelle. I love the trainer art for this character so much. From the mismatched length and design socks, to the skull shoes with the bone high heel, to the hair that is these wispy little ghosts. So getting to see some of these characteristics translate themselves onto their character Geistion, I am pumped. I'm going to throw up what Geistion looks like in its normal mode so that you can see the translation that happens when adding on the characteristics of the OC Annabelle. It is such a drastic change, but also one that feels very in line with what we've seen with Greninja to Ash Greninja. The character doesn't just evolve, it takes on aspects of its trainer in this really cool way that aren't exactly one-to-one. I like that rather than just giving this Pokemon socks that are mismatched with ghosts and spikes, this version utilizes those colors to inform the tail while still making the paws mismatched in a way that's simplified. We get to see the hair ghost type of emblematic design that we see in Annabelle make its way into the Geistion design in these swoops of the tufts of the sides of the face, as well as how the ears change in texture and color. So many different attributes here that I feel could have the potential to go wrong, but are utilized in such specific ways that allow the design to feel complete. It allows Geistion in its typical form to feel like a Pokemon, while making Geistion's bonded form feel like a Pokemon as well. It doesn't feel like stuff is tacked on, it feels purposeful and intentful. So those are some of the things that I really love about this design when taking apart that bonded phenomenon and how it's meant to function in Pokemon. We got a lot of submissions, and I'm gonna go ahead and say some of them utilize the form change in ways that feel new and exciting, but not in the same standard that we've gotten to see with Bond Phenomenon. This is not one of those designs. This one absolutely balances out every aspect needed and pulls that all together while still utilizing the OC trainer in some really exciting ways. And so here is my rendition of Bayfox's bonded Geistion. Made a couple tweaks and changes just to fit my style a little bit more on here, like lightening up some of the color, though I do dig the darker energy that we get from Bayfox's version. So fun, so exciting, and coming from a person like me who's done ghost type evolutions in videos before, it is a tough pill to swallow. It is a tough cookie to crack, but man, Bayfox, you really handled it here to the utmost degree, and you make it feel fun, which is always a bonus. Next up is the ever-talented Infamous trainer who you can find on YouTube. This take on Infernape, I am stoked about. I love the fact that not only did Infamous Trainer come in and recolor the design, because I think that that's a quick way that a lot of people see in making a Bond Pokemon feel like their trainer, is just by recoloring. Not only did Infamous Trainer do that with the recolor, but you can also see so many aspects of his trainer OC within the design itself. From the haircut, to the change in armor, to that vibrant and really, really cool type of multicolored flame. There's so much happening here that I saw and was like, yeah, that's gotta be in the video, absolutely. So many fun and exciting takes on the character of Infernape, who himself is a really cool Pokemon already. I see Infernape and Greninja as on this even playing field of very cool humanoid looking final form starter Pokemon. If Greninja's gonna get a Bond Phenomenon form, Infernape should as well, not just because they're cool, but because they really fulfilled a similar niche within Ash's team, and so therefore really should have had the same treatment. So I'm glad to see that someone as talented as Infamous Trainer is taking that challenge on and saying, yeah, we're gonna fix this problem right here and right now. So it is an honor to get to draw this in my style. It was also kind of a challenge. That fire, I wanted to feel energetic. I wanted it to feel vibrant, and multicolored fire in these hues is not something that I've necessarily done a ton of. I've done the natural fire look with your oranges, yellows, and reds. I've done the mystical fire as we saw earlier with Typhlosion, with those pinks and blues and hues in between. But going for this red, white, and blue type of look with that yellow splash in there was definitely a challenge that I came across, and really have to applaud Infamous for having the ability to see that and make that something tangible. So I faced a challenge here, one that I have to applaud the creator for, and one that I'm hoping worked out well enough for you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think. So here is my take on Infamous Trainer's Bond Infernape. Such a cool idea and such a cool take that really makes me, as a fan of the franchise, want to double down and say, yeah, Game Freak, Pokemon, Infernape deserves this treatment. If this piece designed by Infamous Trainer doesn't sell you on that, I don't know what will, because this one was such a joy to draw in my style. So much fun, and I'm really hoping that it's something that me and Infamous can both be proud of. Up next is a Bond form by Urban LOL from YouTube. I really like this design for Blastoise, or for a bonded Blastoise version, because there's so much here that can be translated between artists. While there is a style that happens between one artist and another, here there's a lot of translation that can happen in how we're able to take some of the shapes that are used. One that I really stuck on, and something that really got me drawn to this design, was these shapes of blue across kind of the neck piece there, as well as the line work on the stomach. How we're able to translate those from one artist to another. So while there are some liberties taken here and there, I'm still wanting to try and maintain the initial and primary look of this character, and it turned out to be a bit bigger of a challenge than I thought. I played with the shape and structure more here than I think I have in any other video, trying to figure out exactly how I wanted this design to be proportioned, because it could be very easy, especially with a Pokemon like Blastoise, to just fall back onto the designs that already exist. We have Mega Blastoise, we have Standard Blastoise, we have Gigantamax Blastoise, and I recently did another video where I did a secondary Mega form for Blastoise, so it felt like it would be easy to fall into some of those same patterns, but here I wanted to do something that not only felt fresh and new, but specifically drew on the design that Urban had given us. Some of the aspects that I really enjoy are how we're able to translate over these different variations in shapes. So it was a ton of fun. Urban, you gave me a run for my money on this one, but I'm hoping that I was able to create something that you and the rest of the audience can be happy with, because I can definitely see so much of your OC translated into this character. And that was a big, that's kind of the whole point here, is we want to make sure that we maintain the aspects of the OC trainer within the design. And I could see a lot of that, so I didn't want to lose anything. I wanted to keep that hair fringe and make Blastoise feel like he's almost a furry turtle, kind of like what we anticipated a Wartortle might turn into. So keeping a lot of those things really became the challenge of this design, but one that I'm hoping is something that pays off. So here's my rendition of Urban's Bonded Blastoise. I love getting to see the ninja aspects of your OC brought into the design. That long collar that goes across the front, I think really gives this sense of mystique to the whole design, and using that line work that you'd incorporated on that section into this streaming and overflowing water just builds upon what's already established there. I hope we're cool with some of the liberties that I took, like on the stomach shape and how the cannons are positioned, because this was a ton of fun and super talented concept that you brought to the table here. If you've been around the Sterniverse for a while, then you know how much we love our regulars on our Wednesday live streams. So it was no surprise to see Sky, also known as Stuck in the Wrong World on Tumblr and Instagram, pop in with an amazing concept, that being this bonded Raichu. She comes up with amazing trainers as well as some stupendous character concepts. So coming in with this OC and this Pokemon was, yeah, no brainer. Of course, that is phenomenal. And so getting to work on this design was a ton of fun, as they always are. Raichu is such a simple character, and one that is fairly iconic as the evolution to Pikachu, that playing with how you're gonna turn this up to 11 can feel a little daunting, and I can say that as a person who was daunted by this look. So coming in, I really liked and appreciated that there were some of my favorite aspects brought in from Alolan Raichu. I'm not a person who necessarily likes your typical Cantonian Raichu. I think that the ear antenna swirly things are a little off-putting. The tail feels a little weird, so getting to see this version bring in some aspects of what I would say is a better Raichu form with Alola. It fixed every problem that I saw with the character design initially, and makes a Pokemon that feels like what we should have gotten. Plus, with getting so much Mega Raichu news, X and Y, in Pokemon ZA, it was really cool to get to see this one pop in and have this sense of atmosphere about it. So really fun, really cool, a breath of fresh air. And so as it came across the screen, I knew, yeah, this is one that's gonna make it into the video. And if yours isn't in the video, do not be stressed. As I said before, we have an announcement that's gonna come at the end of this video that I'm hoping is gonna make you pretty lighthearted about the whole situation. There were a lot in here that I was really pumped for and really excited for, but given the constraints of video, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to get to everyone, but I do have several in mind for something else that's coming. That's all I'll say until we get to that end portion. And so here is Sky's Bonded Raichu. I love all the decisions made here, like bringing in the shapes on the knees as a reference to the jacket of the OC character, and how that white across the chest really breaks up the design and allows it to feel like there is that connection back to the OC trainer. So many fun decisions made, as well as, like I said, bringing in that Alolan Raichu inspiration to the look. I love when Pokemon designs and evolutions like Megas and things like that draw on not just the Pokemon, but the different variations. So who is your favorite? Who are you adding onto the team? Let me know down in the comments below. And hey, before you get all the way down there, consider stopping by the description where you can support the channel in a number of ways. While I have the names of our supporters flashing up on screen, I'm gonna talk to you about this announcement that I've been kind of teasing a little bit, right? So, we had so many people show up for this contest that I decided why limit it to one, right? So in the month of November, I'm gonna be doing another video like this, utilizing the submissions from this last contest. But for those of you who say, Stern, I didn't get to submit, I don't have anything that's gonna be in the next video, worry not, because in November, we're gonna be running another contest. This one for UB-Sember. In December, we're gonna be tackling a video looking at the Ultra Beasts, and you'll have your opportunity to submit an Ultra Beast design in November. Once that design is submitted, you will get the opportunity to see that brought to life in a video just like this. But more info is gonna come for that shortly. I just wanted to let you know because you made the effort to stick around till the end of the video. So going back over some of the stuff that we talked about, I'm gonna be doing another Bond Phenomenon video based on the submissions that we got for this one, and we're gonna be running an Ultra Beast contest in December. So that's gonna come out in December, ran throughout November. You can get details for that either in our community posts or over on Discord once that's kind of finalized. I'm really excited about it. I love Ultra Beasts, and I really think that Ultra Beasts and Bond Phenomenon were some Pokemon designs that were kind of lost, right? We had Mega, that happened, it went away and it came back, but Ultra Beasts we haven't touched on in a while, and Bond Phenomenon, you know, we have one Pokemon that does it. So some really fun stuff that I'm really excited for. I hope you are too, and it sounds like you know where to find me. So I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. I got it all done in a single take. There's no blooper here. There's no ending little me talking about anything. It was done in a single take. So if there's any issues or guffaws or hiccups, just know, like, it was good. There's the jet.